save lives. Government has also put in place a structure to make it look like what they have in mind.
Join us on our land, so Women Radio 91.7 FM.
How do we stop crime in the society? Because at the end of the day, if a man cannot provide for his wife anymore, he looks for other means.
We should address Nigeria.
Our land every Monday to Friday by 9:05 a.m. as women across Nigeria tackles trending issues, one honest, thought-provoking discussion at a time. Because when women speak, the world listens.
All right, you're welcome to Highlands right here on Your Women Radio WFM 91.7. A very beautiful morning to you. Today is Tuesday, the last day of this month. So yes, we can say happy last day of the month. Tomorrow is our Independence Day. I hope that we're all gearing up for it because Nigeria 65 have come a long way. Can you imagine a 65-year-old man? Just imagine a 65-year-old man. That's how old we are. But you know what they say now? The older, the better. I mean, they say now old wine is sweet pass. So I mean, so we're getting better. We're definitely getting better. We're not where we used to be, and we are definitely moving. So yeah, we'll get there. Yes, my name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser. You're welcome to Her Lens right here on Your Women Radio WFM 91.7. Her Lens is a program where we get to discuss, dissect, and disagree on topical issues right here on Your Women Radio from Monday to Friday from 9:05 a.m. All right, and of course, this morning on Her Lens, Ibinabo sent her apologies. She's not able to be with us this morning. Something came up for her. But of course, we have Buki Femi Ajala with us this morning. Good morning, Buki. How are you today?
Yes, Buki is doing great, and I want to thank God. How is everybody as well? I'm sure Alensis family, we are all doing great. Thank you.
Okay, it's good to have you join us this morning, Buki. Because today's the 30th, tomorrow is 1st, and you know on public holidays we don't do Highland. So yeah, we're just gonna discuss all the things that we ought to have discussed tomorrow, especially talking about the Independence Day and how it comes to us. Okay, so these are some of the things that we'll be looking at this morning, and some few other things, and of course vow too. Vow is just next tomorrow. Yesterday I was telling a colleague of mine, babe, was it not in January, February that I was saying that September is a long time, and you know the plans were just going, you know, every month have meeting on vow, and then it became very frequent. I'm like, yes, we don't reach vow, don't come. So vow is just in 2 days time, today, tomorrow, and on Thursday is going to be vow, which of course is also my birthday, Buki. So yeah. Vow is you're speaking, Buki. We can't hear you. Muted.
Okay, is that tomorrow?
No. My birthday is on the 2nd.
Oh, 2nd.
Yeah,
So
the same day
are you going to Abuja, or how do we work at this now?
We there, yeah. We go to studio to the link Abuja and Lagos.
How do we work at this?
So that those who are our listeners around here can actually listen to what's going on in Val. So I'll go to the studio save that day to make sure that it goes well.
It is well.
Yes. All right. So it's a lot. The office has just been up and down because of the Val conference, and
I can imagine.
Honestly, you know, last minute changes, some guests saying that okay they will come, some that cancelled are saying no, they're going to be available, and so it's just a lot. So we're all just constantly making changes, but hopefully everything will go well. All right, so we're being joined by Susan. Susan, how far? Hope so you don't settle for Abuja, Susan. You don't they set for Val, because I mean Val is just a couple of days away. Just today, tomorrow, and Thursday is going to be Val. How did they do you for body, Susan? Good morning.
Good morning, Rose. Good morning, Buki. Good morning, Highlands family. My body, they do me giz. But in all, I'm fully prepared. Val, here we come.
Now so definitely. All right, so it's good to hear from you, Susan, and we're excited about Val Conference and Awards that is going to take place on Thursday, starting from 9 a.m. So if you are going to be joining us on radio, please do well to join us, okay? Because we are going to be hooking up with Abuja to take you through the VOW conference. A lot and a lot of guests. We have a guest is coming from South Africa. We have so many female leaders in Nigeria and even beyond who are going to be coming. And there's a mix of rural women too, from different communities who are going to be there just to, air their voices. Let's understand what is going on in the rural communities as regards to women leadership. There's the issue of the reserved seat bill that is going to be discussed. There's the issue of supporting women. There's the issue of raising our voices to so many things that are going on in our society. And this is, is definitely going to draw the attention of the whole Nigeria and, and beyond, to see that we are lending our voices to the issues that women face and, taking women to the next level at the end of the day. And I'm super excited because this is also going to be a call for our young girls who are aspiring to be leaders or who just want to be leaders in their different careers, that you can actually do it, and there's always a platform for you. So yeah, I was super excited about that. Okay, so this is your Women Radio WFM 91.7. And of course, it's the program Her Lens right here on Women Radio. You can be a part of the program by dialing 07000 917 917, or you can also dial 09155 917 917. Our WhatsApp lines are 07031756537 or 08155 917 917. Those are the numbers that you can get in touch with us this morning on the program Her Lens. All right, ladies, let's start off with the Independence Day. Now, tomorrow we're not going to be here because of public holiday, but Independence Day, Buki, when you think of Nigeria at 65, by the way, they say no parade this year. I remember when all of us used to gather in front of the TV to watch, the parade, that synchronization, to just watch everything. It just gives me joy when it's Independence Day. And now federal government is saying that there's not going to be parade. Like, so what do you make out of our Independence Day early morning ritual that we usually do? Well, I don't know, but there's just something about that parade that just shows beauty, it shows unity, it shows synchronization. And I don't know, and the colors, everything. It's just so good and amazing to watch. Colorful, just something that brings us all together. And now they say no parade. I don't know what one can do on Independence Day morning. But any which way, Buki, how does it feel, being 65 in Nigeria? We get our issues, but we're not where we used to be. And I think we're moving forward, even as regards to women-related issues, in regards to governance. You are on the newspaper review, or part of our newspaper review analyst, and some of the issues that you get to discuss. There are some that you discuss and you say, Nigeria, Kilo Day, are we actually moving forward? And there are some that you talk about and you say, okay, maybe, there's hope. We're getting somewhere. So for you as an analyst on the newspaper review that you get to discuss so many issues, what do you think of Nigeria at 65, and where we are heading to as it is?
Well, I will come from the angle of comparing some of the countries that are doing so well now. Some of the countries that are doing so well that we got our independence in the same decade. We talk of Ghana. Ghana got their independence before us. Where are they when you look at some statistics? But I always love to use Singapore. I always love to use Singapore. And it's because we got our independence, within the same decade, though we got ours before them. And their countries at that time, the issues surrounding them at that time, they pulled away from Malaysia. They were very small, poverty-stricken country, But right now, looking back, you cannot say that, oh, this was how they started. In fact, when you read the books, by Lee Kuan Yew and all that, you begin to wonder that, okay, what was in their own mindset that is not in our own mindset? And that's where I want to come, from today, that all we just need to change is our mindset. That's it. we have the same brain, God has created us the same way. Yes, our colors might be different, but how do we think? This was someone who came here thinking that he could be mentored. He went around West Africa, went around Africa looking for mentors. But at the end of the day, he found out that, what, I think I need to just do my own thing. At least the things that I got from my college, in Britain and all that, and then of course it was also mentored, to say, what, Singapore, we are going to do so well. And that's why we talk about Singapore today, that they moved, from a third world to a first world. I always like to use that. And look at all the indices. Are we talking of housing? Over 90%, if I'm correct, of Singaporeans, have houses. What can we say of that today? What are we doing? What are we doing concerning our data, our statistics? Look at the GDP of Singapore. Yes, I know someone will say that, Singapore, their population is about 6 million, ours is about 200. What can we say about, China and all that, that their population is high, even India is high. Look at their GDP per capita and compare it with us in Nigeria. You find out that it's not about it's not about the population, but what can we do? What's the productive capacity of our population? How are we making our population work for us? Because we have the numbers. How come people are coming into here and they are investing? Because they are seeing the numbers. We are talk today about the fact that Nigeria is a youthful population. 70% of our youth, of our population are youth. The median age is about 18. I mean, some would say 17. So, line up all the ages, we are saying median, the middle age is 17. That means we have a youthful population.
Yeah.
For me, at 65, I look at a man or a woman who is 65. By 65, you should be mentoring, you should have gathered, all your capacities, you should have done a whole lot. And you are moving into your 70s, your 80s, where you want to step into mentoring things. So if we look at that, I want to see that for Nigeria now, can we sit back and reflect? Like, when you talk about old men reflecting, that what are the things that I ought to have done? You understand? Can we sit back and begin to reflect to say, okay, where did we miss it? The Awolowos, that founded, our nation. Where I come from, they will say that, well, we call them founders, but they actually liberated us. They did their best to liberate us, for us to have independence. But in terms of getting the nation together, you understand, in building the nation together, there were one or two issues that we like, but we don't have to keep saying they did their best. They liberated us. But what are we doing now? The numbers that we have, our capacities that we have, the intellect we have, the experience we have, the exposure we have, what are we doing concerning our nation? Now, to balance it up, am I saying that, oh, we have not done so well? Oh, we have done well in some areas, we've done so well in some areas, but can we do more? Oh, yes, we can do more. If we have that integrity and the love for our country, we will move. And one thing that, which I used to wrap up, and one thing that people always say that I think today we need to rest that thing, is the fact that, oh, this was the way the British, they did divide and rule. No doubt about that. They did divide and rule. Yes, no doubt about that. But the question is, where we are today in terms of our intellect and exposure and capacity, must we continue to think the way we were 60 years ago? Obviously, no. So we need to break free of that mold and take our destiny in our hands. And that's why you have some African leaders now. They are rising up. For instance, Ghana, I think it was Ghana. I said, you know what? Nobody's coming nobody's coming here to export raw materials. You come here, build your factories here. We want to start exporting, processed, because the value of raw materials and process is very high. So we need to take, our own destiny in our own hands and do it.
Yes,
Africa, I mean, Nigeria is big. We have the population, we have the youthful population that can think, that can be creative. You understand? So for me, I want to see us being reflective at this time, and not just being reflective, but reflective to take action. The good things we have done, we will celebrate it. We will celebrate it. Look at Nollywood today. You understand?
yeah.
You understand what they have done? Look at our youths, unicorns. They're getting lots of grants, and they're smashing the techie world. They've done so well. You understand? But
Mm.
when we look at development, you understand, and growth, yes, we might be growing, but when we come about development, I want to see that people have access to healthcare easily. People
Yeah.
go to school, you understand, easily. Primary school, secondary school, easily. You understand? Those are things that bring development. Our roads, those are the areas that I think Nigeria today should begin to reflect, to say, okay, we have not done so well in this place. Can we begin to do that? So I mean, we will get there. We will call ourselves the giants of Africa. Yeah, we might look as if we are sleeping, but we're not sleeping.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Much, Buki. You have touched on a lot of areas, because at 65 years, we should have gathered lots of experience that will have other nations coming to knock on our doors to say, I beg, how not do am? How not take reach like this? Okay, because you mentioned some countries. I watched a Singapore movie some time back, and the cities I was seeing, I was like, okay. It's all right. Nigeria,
And
how
this
far?
is, at that time, they didn't even have what we call water closets.
Can you imagine?
It was really bad. You
Ah,
understand? When they were doing their own reorganization, rehabilitation, and whatever, they had to teach them how to use the water closet. I mean, there were lots of moves that they did, you understand? But you see,
yeah.
the mindset that helped them, which we need to get, we need
Mm,
to move away from tribalism and this issue of ethnicity and this
mm,
issue of religion. We need to move out of it. Those are things that are pushing us down, pressing us down.
mm.
In Singapore that we talk about, they're talking about meritocracy. It has nothing to do with tribes. And let me shock you, because I would like to wrap up now, because if you give me time on this matter, I'll go to talk. Do you know that at a particular point in time, the gentleman, Lee Kuan Yew, found out that a particular tribe was not doing so well in mathematics.
Mm,
Rather than he doing our own to say, okay, 1 mark for the north, 1 mark for the east, 1 mark for the west, you understand?
mm,
He looked for the problem. Why is it that this particular tribe, you're not doing so well in maths? And he solved the root of the problem rather than making different scores for different tribes. He did not. You understand? And the
mm.
issue of ethnicity, Singapore is just like us. There are many tribes and many
Many
ethnic, but
times.
you have to
Yeah.
go for the strong one to say, you know what, this is what will be. And the institutions they made are still what is helping them today. Meritocracy. So that's why I said it's a reflective time that I want to postulate for Nigeria today, that what are the things we need to stop doing? This issue of tribalism, whatever, I don't understand it. Even religion, where you say that your religion forbids that a girl and a boy, they cannot be equal. Why? In this day and age, and you could say that in the floor of the Senate. I beg, don't let's go there. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Buki. I mean, anyone listening can actually feel the passion from, your words. I mean, it's Nigeria, and we all want the best for Nigeria, but hopefully we'll definitely get there. We will. Yeah, we will, at least with things coming up like Vow, that are opening a lot of eyes, to see the true nature of how things are as regards to women. I'm sure we'll get there. All right, Susan, let's come to you. Before we go on a break, let's come to you. Let's hear how Nigeria 65 has come to you. How do you feel about it? Looking at some of the issues that you are involved with, firsthand, looking at the area of, women with disability, people living with disability, looking at how, it goes in terms of inclusion in Nigeria, and so many other issues that you have been involved with, and so far, some of the discussions that we've had on her lens. Nigeria 65, what comes to your mind? Like I told Buki, we're not where we used to be. We're gradually moving, even if it's at a slow pace, but we're moving. The worst thing is to stay in one place. So it's either you're moving backward or you're moving forward. It's just a movement. There should just be a movement. So, but for you, how do you see Nigeria 65?
I think I need to take a deep breath. Yes, Nigeria at 65, it brings a lot of reflections for me. First, I want to start off from where you stopped. We are not where we used to be, and the fact that in the last few years we have been able to secure, a disability act that specifically addresses the rights of persons with disabilities in Nigeria. It's a feat. One thing I have noticed in Nigeria is that over time we attend conferences, especially the international ones, and we are good at signing. We have beautiful laws on papers, but implementation is Herculean. Implementation is Herculean. And for platforms like VOW Conference, where you see so many women from the rural, people you would ordinarily not meet on a day-to-day basis, including women with disabilities, everyone seated together, sharing insights. It means we are making progress. I think, like Buki rightly said, until we begin to look beyond religion, we begin to look beyond tribalism, and begin to look beyond ethnicity. Because trust me, even in the disability community, which I represent, it is very strong. The men believe, yes, do not think that it is just, no. And in Nigeria, we have over 35 million persons with disability. So we have a large number of persons with disability in Nigeria. And so they feel, as a woman, you should take a back seat.
Wow.
So some of us who are even outspoken, who challenge the status quo and ask salient questions, we are seen as people who are attacking. No, we are not attacking. We cannot keep sitting and, talking about issues from behind. My lived experience as a woman with disability is different from that of a man with a disability. The intersectionality.
There. When we come back from this break, we'll definitely pick up from where you are, because this is really interesting. Because when we think that when you have people with disability, everybody's united, in that, but hearing all of from you, then that means there's still a lot of work to be done. But we'll definitely come back to your line of thought, Susan. This is your Women Radio WFM 91.7, and it's about 29 minutes to 10. Right here on Women Radio, and this is the program Her Lens. My name is Rose. I've got Buki, and I also have Susan with me this morning, and we're just looking at Nigeria at 65.
Hey, some officer girl again. You are listening to WFM 91.7. Yeah. Tune in. That's it.
Something big is coming with Better Play. Get ready to turn 500 Naira into a 200,000 Naira daily jackpot. Yes, you heard me right. 200,000 Naira every single day. The more tickets you grab, the higher your chances of winning. Stay tuned, because this is the game changer you've been waiting for, coming to you on Women Radio 91.7 FM. Are you ready to play and win big?
Ndị be anyị, ihe okwu eruola o, ego na-ezo dịka mmiri ozuzo. Better play, better chance. 200,000 naira. Where keep Banyanaka guitar?
Jekwante, ugboro atọ n'ụbọchị, aha ndị mmeri ga-apụta live na redio.
Only 500 naira nwere ike iji merie ruo 200,000 naira kwa ụbọchị. Sonye na Better Play ugbu a ma gee ekwentị na redio ma ọ kụọ elekere 10 nke ụtụtụ, elekere 2 nke ehihie na elekere 6 nke abalị kwa ụbọchị. Aha gị nwere ike bụrụ nke a kpọrọ Better Play.
Mee ngwa ngwa zụta tiketi gị ugbu a. Zụta tiketi gị na www.betterplay.ng maọbụ bịa *347*154#. Ịchọọ ime ka ohere gị bawanye, ị nwere ike ịzụta tiketi ruru 20.
Mee ngwa ngwa soro anyị na Facebook @betterplay na Instagram @betterplayng maka ozi ọhụrụ. Oge iji emeri ego a eruola. Ị nwere ike ịbụ onye mmeri taa. Better Play bụ naanị maka ndị toruru afọ 18 ma ọ bụ karịa. Sonye egwuregwu a n'ụzọ ziri ezi.
This October, the voices of women will unite in a powerful call to action as Nigeria rises. Join us on Thursday, October 2nd, 2025, at the NAF Conference Center in Abuja, Nigeria, for the Night Voice of Women Conference and Awards, VOW 2025. Speakers include Vice President Kashim Shatima, GCON, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Onzile Nlambo Nkuka, former Deputy President of South Africa, Imam Suleiman Ibrahim, Minister for Women Affairs, Barrister Inkiru Onyedioja, Minister for State Labour, Adijat Adeleye, Kafilat Ogbara, Erelubisi Fayemi, Ansatu Adegbite, Sherifat Taliat, Ebere Mfendu, Gileva, British Deputy High Commissioner. VOW 2025 is a strictly by invitation event that celebrates the power of collective action where women rise together. This initiative, spearheaded by the Voice of Women Empowerment Foundation, is in collaboration with Women Radio 91.7 FM and supported by the MacArthur Foundation, Amandla Institute, First Bank, LIRS, NIMASA, and Asha Microfinance.
Dangote refined and iodized salts. In every kitchen across Nigeria, something special is happening, not just in the pots and pans, but in the quiet moments between stirring and seasoning. Dangote salt doesn't just add taste to your pepper soup or jollof rice. It makes the moments around them even more meaningful, because when your salt is Dangote, refined and iodized, you're free to focus on what really matters: the stories, the laughter, and the laugh shared. Dangote refined and iodized salt, giving you one less thing to worry about.
In a fast-paced world, it's easy to drift, lose focus, and forget yourself, your identity, and the power that lies within you. But what if you pause, breathe, reflect, reset, and redirect? Let me invite you to the second edition of the EMAP series, powered by Artisan Broadcast and Production Limited and supported by Smiles Radio 98.7 FM. The EMAP Series 002 has been put together to help you redirect your energy, connect with your inner self, and step into power. Join us for this life-changing and impactful seminar with the team Pause to Power, Disrupting the Drift, on the 18th of October 2025. Time 6 p.m., where Dr. Olufumilayo Akinola, a consultant addiction psychiatrist of the Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital, Yaba, Lagos. Dr. Rotimiolu Akinlesi, permanent secretary and team lead encouragement initiative. And Ambrose Oluta Ashomide will be walking you through how to get the spark back for a more purpose-driven life. You don't want to miss this session. Note that this is a virtual seminar. For registration details, call Tumishe on 002-811-9509 or Isioma on 0808-657-0100. EMAP 002, a journey to self-discovery.
Jama'a, wani abu babba ya sauka kuma ana zubar da kuɗi kamar ruwa.
Hakika, da naira 500 kawai za ka iya cin nasara har naira 200,000 a rana. Shiga Better Play yanzu kuma saurari sunanka kai tsaye a rediyo da karfe 10 na safe, karfe 2 na rana da karfe 6 na yamma.
Sai tikitinka a www.betterplay.ng ko danna *347*154#. Kana son karin dama? Za ka iya sayan tikiti har 20.
Ka biyo mu a Facebook @Better Play, da Instagram @betterplay.ng Don sabbin bayani, lokacinka ne ka ci wannan kuɗin. Beta Play na buɗe ne kawai ga masu shekaru 18 da sama. Yi wasa cikin hankali.
Launch vibes. Every music note counts, aligning with lyrics and rhythm. Words soothing to the ears, voices and melodies with the best vibes ever. That's with Launch Vibes on Women Radio WFM 91.7.
After your fun bullet, you know I'm just that type. No, no big deal.
Sell your market on Women Radio WFM 91.7. Are you a member of our Women Radio network? Are you a trader? Do you own a business? Do you want to increase your sales? I have good news for you. To sell your market free at no charge every Tuesday, 11:30 a.m. on Women Radio WFM 91.7. Call 07000 917 917 or 9155 917 917. 0800 1235 917. Sell your market and connect with customers far and wide for free. This is only for Women Radio Network members. Follow us on social media, Facebook, X, and YouTube at WFM 917.
We are Nigeria's only radio station for women and their families.
That's right. This is your Women Radio WFM 91.7. This is the voice of women and Nigeria's first radio station for women and their families. Yes, of course, this is still the program Her Lens. My name is Rose. I have Buki with me and I also have Susan with me on the program this morning. So you can be a part of the conversation. How is Nigeria at 65 doing you? How are you feeling it? What are some of the words you'd want to use to describe your thoughts of Nigeria at 65? We would love to hear from you. Please do well to dial the number 07000 917 917, or you can also dial 09155 917 917. Our WhatsApp lines are there to send in your WhatsApp messages 070-317-56537 or 08155 917 917. Those are the numbers to get in touch with us this morning on the program Her Lens. Okay, it's about 20 minutes to 10 on the side of the radio, so we just have about less than 15 minutes to actually keep up this conversation. All right, so we'll definitely love to hear from you this morning. All right, so but you can follow us on our YouTube page at WFM 917. You get to see our faces. It's live on YouTube, so please do well to join our conversations there on YouTube. So Susan, please go ahead with that, let's say, shocking reveal that's going on as regards to the people living in the disability community, because one would think that all of this attack should come from outside and not within the community itself. So what is actually going on there? Okay, let's pick this call first, Susan. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay. We lost that call. Please do want to call us back. Let's get to hear from you. Susan, the floor is yours. Let's hear your thoughts on all of this.
So like I was saying, just as it happens, persons without this. Okay, the call has come again.
Yes, the call is back. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. All right, maybe do well to try one of our other numbers. I don't know which one specifically you're calling, but there are two numbers. Maybe try the other if network is not allowing you to or allowing us to hear ourselves this morning, because we can't hear you at all. If you can hear us, maybe try the other number 07000 917 917 or 09155 917 917. Whichever one. I don't know which is not going through, but maybe try the other. Hello, good morning. Yes, good morning. We can hear you. Good morning, Mrs. Obodi. Welcome. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Nigeria at 65. I've listened to your takes this morning. Please permit me to lend credence to your voices as well.
Please go ahead.
To me, Nigeria at 65 is a ailing, wailing, and hopeless and helpless nation. At 65, are we truly independent? That's the question right now. Nigeria is 65, are we? Just like the president's wife, but as an individual, she's progressing, while as a collective body, Nigeria is retrogressing in my own perspective. Our bright minds jettison this country and jet out on a daily basis in search of greener pastures. Over the years, corruption has been our bane, and the hydra-headed monster that has eaten deep into the fibers of our system, and heads haven't rolled because everybody is dipping their hands in the cookie jar. No one has been held accountable for it. Nigeria is 65. Insurgency, which is an anomaly and an abnormality, has plagued us over the years and has become a norm as we watch our brothers and sisters slaughtered and plundered with no moment of respite endlessly. Nigeria is 65. But are we there as a nation? The answer is no. Are we trying? Are we even, as we are being bettered, are we crawling, planning to start walking, or are we still toddlers and babes sucking milk and not eating meat or bones? The answer is even in our own minds. I wait for my nation. Every day I wake up in the morning to look at the evil that befalls us. We are besieged left and right with different kinds of problems. And you ask yourself, when exactly will there be a momentary respite? Suzanne said something this morning. The community of the disabled ones, persons living with disability, is this a third world country that we can't even recognize them and give them due diligence? Thank God that the women are pushing this bill. The men have clamored for it, and the women are sitting atop it. That will be here pretty soon. Are we where we ought to be? The answer is no. We pray in the forthcoming years, we will come back to give an account and say, Nigeria is 66, but we can beat ourselves to say, yes, truly, we have achieved one thing. So far, so good. Nigeria is still crawling. We haven't arrived as a nation. Good morning, everyone. God bless us all.
Good morning, Mrs. Oboli. Thank you so much for calling and lending your voice to this conversation. Yeah, a lot of challenges in Nigeria, but like you said, hopefully we get to say Nigeria 66. We have done this, we have done this, we have surmounted this, we've done a lot of things. But we'll get there. All right, Susan, let's hear you.
So thank you, Mrs. Oboli. Part of the problem we've had over time is because disability has always been treated as charity. Let's just do for them. Let's just give them. You don't hear about gainful employment. You don't hear about the challenges we have accessing health or other areas of governance, transportation, how we move from point A to point B. What you would hear is palliative, sharing of wheelchairs, things that are irrelevant to our livelihood as a people. Yes, Nigeria is making minute or almost insignificant progress, as it were, thanks to the former president who actually signed the Disability Act. Implementation is quite slow, I must tell you. And that is because Nigeria is a country that does not prioritize the vulnerable groups. Whether you are elderly, you're a person with disability, you're a woman, you're a youth, no. We have not gotten to that level where we prioritize these people and think, oh, it's good to have every voice at the table, because you are not doing anyone a favor. And like I said earlier, the politics and all of this patriarchy and drama does not only happen in spaces, where there are no persons without disability. Persons with disability have also imbibed this culture of sentiment. I remember years back, during COVID-19, as a leader in Lagos State, I was part of the people who were working with Ministry of Agric to go ensure that at least we distribute palliatives to households of persons with disability. I remember one of the attacks I got from the community I was leading was the fact that I am an Amoibo. Why should an Amoibo be doing that? Yes. And I was given that opportunity because they knew that I was not going to be partial or maybe pick an Igbo person because I'm Igbo or a Yoruba person. My duty was to ensure that all the disability clusters got something, even though it will not go round. That was my major duty, and I sought to do that to the latter. But the attacks I got, even from my immediate disability cluster, Omo Ibo, tó bá jẹ́ pé ó wà ní Imo, Shoma Agba Yorùbá láyè, Shoma, you can imagine that. And the people who took that and were selling it on their head like gala were women with disability. So it doesn't just happen in the communities of persons without disabilities, even in the community. But moving forward, because of course, I always look at the brighter side. Can we begin to look at meritocracy, where people are given opportunities because they merit it? I remember when I was given this opportunity to join Women Radio. Nobody asked me where I was coming from. I wasn't asked if I was Igbo, if I was Yoruba, or if I was Hausa, or any other ethnic group. They just saw someone who could speak, who was vocal enough, not just for disability, but for every other issue in life. And that is why, look at me, how many months later, I'm here, part of the team. Not because I have a disability. No, it was not out of pity. That is what it should be, where everyone is moved forward, where we look at opportunities that will sustain, whether they are men, whether they are women, whether they have disability, they are youths. That is what we should be looking at, and not a system that tends to make you feel less of yourself, that tends to marginalize you because you have a disability. You are seen as someone, sorry. You are seen as a youth. Emilokon, it's not your turn. When will it be our turn? When will our voices be heard? I mean, each day at a new age to our years. And tell me, when will it get to us? We need to remove ethnicity, religious biases, and even cultural biases. Forget about ethnicity. If I am someone who can fight for our rights and get it, why don't I get there? Why do you have to discriminate me? And then when you look at these three and add disability to it, you know how it gets amplified, and people go, no, they will begin to ask you the things that my legs cannot do. They will not ask you of the things that my brain can do. Whether I am blind, I am deaf, I am a little person, I'm a person who is a leprosy survivor. And I'm talking based on over 8 disability clusters that we have in Nigeria, and over 35 million persons with different forms of disability. When will we begin to see people for who they are, for the value they bring to the table, for the diversity that we need to embrace to move Nigeria forward? If you look at the countries that have also made progress, you will see that they have intentionally made provisions for those who are ordinarily marginalized. That is why they are making progress. They are not bothered about their ethnicity. They are not bothered about the languages. And they are not bothered about your religious inclination, because at the table, I'm not bringing religion. I'm looking at human beings. And so when you succeed, you can use it to drive change within your religious space, within your ethnicity, and within any space you find yourself. It is not about all of those things. Nigeria needs to move past that. And I bet you, within the next 365 days after this Independence Day celebration, if we can move past most of these things, you will see that we will drive impactful and sustainable change, not just to drive change, because you can drive change and it's a negative.
Yeah.
We're looking at impactful and sustainable ones that would affect the lives of our citizens possibly positively, and then move Nigeria to the promised land by God's grace. Thank you.
All right. Thank you too, Susan. Thank you so much for lending your voice to this. Buki, do you have any final words before we call it a day?
Yeah, one of my final words, like I always say, we point one finger to the government, 3 fingers are
three.
So the question is, what are you also doing? I mean, while I was talking, I was also reflecting that at my age, what are the mistakes I've made? What are the things I need to do, to correct that? You might not be able to correct everything, but you should be able to do 1 or 2 things, that will make things better. And I think that is what I want to leave for every one of us, that while we talk about Nigeria, let's use 3 times of the time we talk about Nigeria to look at ourselves. What are we doing to humanity? What are we doing in our sphere of influence? How can we contribute, to the progress, to the development of Nigeria? We talk about the government, we say, government is this, is that. Before you know what is happening, one small thing, the market woman will just increase her rate times 3. You understand? You begin to wonder that what has dollar got to do with, all kinds of things that we do to ourselves, the transporters, all kinds of things that we do to ourselves, let's look at it. And then, of course, when we talk about the out of school children, it's not just the Amajulis that we're looking at.
Yeah.
Look around you. Give somebody an independence present. There are many people that are not going to school because they cannot afford it. In your community, can you sponsor one person? By so doing, you are helping the nation. You might not know, but you are helping the nation. It might be somebody who has even left secondary school but does not even know how to even go out with tertiary and wants to learn a trade. Put him in a skill acquisition center. Do something. I mean, make Nigeria proud. I mean, if 50 million of us do that, do you know what it will be? We're improving our productive capacity. So once again, we want to say happy independence, ahead of tomorrow. But we are here. We are not going anywhere. Nigeria is our place. Nigeria will be great. I can tell you, Nigeria will be great. I can see the signs, but we just have to do what is right. Have a heart, of doing what is right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Buki. Suzanne, you want to add anything to that? In just few, maybe in a minute or two.
I just also want to lend my voice and say happy independence, Nigeria. Yes, we are not where we want to be, but it can only get better from here. That is just, what we need to believe. And like Buki just said, even in your spaces of influence, what are you doing differently to drive that change? Whether you're a transporter listening to us, don't do the fact that, we see a different price on the app and we get into your ride and you are telling us one humongous price that is beyond it. We are all part of the problem. Let's just be intentional. And trust me, Nigeria will be better for it. Happy Independence Day to everyone.
Yes, we say happy Independence Day in advance to Nigeria. 65 years of being independent. Are we really independent? I leave that question to each and every one of us to answer. And while you're answering it, look at from your own point of view, what have you done to contribute to Nigeria's independence? All right, so let's answer those questions, salient questions, that we are going to leave with you all this morning. So yes, let's meet up on, let's see, today, okay, tomorrow is Independence Day, so yeah, public holiday, we might not be here. For vow, I'll let us know about that. All right, so but we wish us a successful vow at Women Radio and the Voice of Women Empowerment Foundation too. We know that vow will definitely go well. So yeah, do want to stay with us right here on Women Radio. Thank you so much, ladies, for being a part of the program. Susan, come and gist us about vow. Come and gist us about vow, Susan. Give us all the tea.
Don't worry, I will give you the full package. I will give you the full package.
No, Mahala, we trust you because now you be our eyes there. For years, yes, we feel here from Women Radio, boy. Our eyes now you go be our eyes for there. All right, so that's it from us on her lens right here on Women Radio WFM 91.7. Do want to stay with us. Coming up next is Radio Doctor. My name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser. Happy Independence Day.